me see who's all in here before I get started. Um, in the chat, this is. I want to talk about some things in my life that have me to transform or transformation with my true self. And everybody knows me for being for what I do. And I want to thanks everybody. I want to tell everybody greetings. Everybody knows who I am. I'm Corey. I'm known as Ross Corey. My journey through my journey through Rastafari has been uh, my life through through my life in the last 5 6 years has been deeply a spiritual one. But over the 20 years, the beginning with my 20 years as a devoted Rastafarian, I involved into a greater overstanding and of my higher self. So the transformation was not really easy for me, but it was necessary. Here I share my story, what led me into Rastafari and the beliefs that shaped me, and ultimately what guided me toward a higher consciousness. You know, my life as a Rastafarian, for 2 decades, Rastafari has was my way of life. My identity was deeply intertwined with the movement. My hair grew naturally long, long locks, so long that they was to my butt at one time, and symbolizing my spiritual commitment. My diet was strictly ital, um, free from processed food and impure foods. I grew my own food. I embraced the teachings that of Haile Selassie was the living God, and I lived in accordance while with the principles of natural living and the resistance against Babylon oppressive system. Smoking herb, or what people call smoking ganja, was a sacred practice to me, really a real practice to me, because I have lost a lot from smoking herb, and I gained a lot from smoking herb, from jobs and whatnot, for being against the system. And my sacred practice of meditation and the connection with the divine, it was it provided me with clarity, or so I believed, and it allowed me to see beyond the illusion of society. The language too was altered, and words was like redefined to align with Rasta philosophy, and reinforcing a worldwide view that separates me, or separate Rasta from the mainstream. You know what I mean? So when when I got to a higher state, however, as deeply as I was like embedded into this faith, questions began. Me and my wife used to reason about it a lot, and the questions started coming, and then it arises with me certain contradictions, divisions among Rastafarian groups, and my own personal experience led me to seek something more. You know what I mean? So the shift into the consciousness that came when that came at a time when I felt a calling beyond the structure of Rastafari. The philosophy had given me a foundation, but I began to sense that it was not the ultimate truth. You know what I mean? it has a lot of the truth. Then I started just going further and further. I wasn't opening to a lot of things, and I started seeking deeper wisdom beyond the religious labels and the social structure um, that came with it. So my higher self began to reveal truths to me, ones that could not confine within any one doctrine. You know what I mean? 'Cause I read several hundreds of doctrines. I read over, I say 100 doctrines, and I realized that my spirituality was not tied to external identity, but was internal journey of self-realization and the dependence on certain beliefs and rituals and substances to maintain a connection with the divine started to feel like limiting. You know what I mean? Because I studied this for so long and lived it, so it was no further way that I could go in it. So it was like limiting. It was rather than like liberating. So the true alignment I discovered was about breaking free from all forms of attachment and aligning with the universal consciousness. So what changed in me was one of the most profound shifts was my understanding of God and self. I moved away from the idea of worshiping a human figure and toward recognizing the divine presence within all beings, you know what I mean, including myself. I no longer needed external validation or symbols to affirm my spirituality. Instead, I embraced mindfulness and meditation in direct communion with the universe, you know what I mean? So I also transitioned away from substance. Um, if I wasn't growing my own marijuana or cannabis, I wasn't smoking it. So when I in Hawaii, I grew my herb and I smoked some of the best herbs, and I realized that my mind and spirit were powerful enough to achieve higher states of awareness without it. So you know what I mean. So I've been smoking herb almost maybe 20 something years. You see what I'm saying? And the clarity I found came from within, unclouded my um, external influence. I didn't need no external influences. Moreover, my ways of my unity started like involved with other people and trying to figure out what's going on. And while really I still honor my roots and teachings that shape me, Rastafari will never leave what I know. So I now see all spiritual paths as interconnected. There is a wisdom in many traditions. So I seen Buddhas in Hawaii. So the Buddhists, I seen a lot of different cultures and beliefs and many traditions, and not no single one holds the whole entire truth. That's what it came to me. After so long, I always just wanted to stick to Rastafari, and I wasn't opening to anything else because Rastafari, what I know. So, and my mission is now to share love, knowledge, and healing without a division. So, embracing my higher self today, I stand as a being of light, unbounded by labels, free in my consciousness. And my transformation was not a rejection of my past, but an evolution beyond it. You know what I mean? So I'm a Rasta gone beyond Rasta. See what I'm saying? Now I'm with the God who I really am. I am He. See what I'm saying? I still respect all knowledges. Remember this. I will never forget, and I still respect the knowledge and powerful legacy of Rastafari. But my journey has led me to a higher understanding, one where I'm guided by my inner self rather than an external doctrine. Through my platform right now, you will see I have another platform. It's called I Am He. It's just gonna show you my everyday life, my living, my travels, and whatnot. It won't be uh, legendary Ross Corey. Will still have all the teachings of what I know, and that's what this platform is. I continue to share the insights, encourage self awareness, and inspire others to embark on their own journey of enlightenment. Whether through the holistic health that I know from natural living or spiritual teachings, my goal remains the same: to uplift, empower others to find their own truth, peace and love and higher consciousness to everyone out there. And I give a heavy blessings. Give shots out to everybody that supported me for so long. And I want to give thanks to my family out there. I give thanks and praise. I want to tell you